So we're all building these amazing AI agents to handle really complex tasks, right? But there's always been this nagging feeling. Can you actually trust them to hit the big red button at the end? Well, today we're talking about a new tool that completely changes the game by giving your agent a superpower: perfect, predictable execution.
Look, we know AI agents are brilliant at the hard stuff: thinking, reasoning, analyzing code, figuring out a plan. But when it comes to running a simple, precise command that has to be exactly right every single time, things can get a little, shall we say, creative. And creative is the last thing you want when you're running that final test suite, or heaven forbid, pushing to production.
And this right here, this is what I call the agent's dilemma. You've got this incredibly powerful, creative brain in the large language model, but you're a little hesitant to hand over the keys to the kingdom for those super-critical, must-not-fail tasks. And that paradox, that's what's been holding us back from building truly bulletproof end-to-end automations.
So it begs the question, right? What if you didn't have to choose? What if you could get the best of both worlds? Let the agent do all the brilliant creative thinking, and then, for the execution, hand it off to something with the rock-solid, old-school reliability of a shell command. Well, that's exactly where this new tool comes in. Let me introduce you to InvokeAgentRuntimeCommand. Now, if you've been using the standard InvokeAgentRuntime to make your agent think, you can think of this as its perfect companion, a dedicated, no-nonsense command line for your agent. So what is it really? It lets you run shell commands, just like you would type into your own terminal, but it runs them directly inside the agent's live environment. And the best part? The output streams back to you in real time. This is so important because it's not running on some other machine. It's a direct line into your agent's current workspace, with access to all the same files and context. And this creates this beautiful separation of powers. Just think of it like this. The regular InvokeAgentRuntime is your brilliant architect. It looks at the problem, designs a clever solution, maybe writes some code. But InvokeAgentRuntimeCommand, that's your master builder. It takes the exact blueprint, a command like npm test, and executes it perfectly, no questions asked, every single time. One is for thinking, the other is for doing. And here's the magic of how it works. Because that command is running in the very same container, it sees the exact same file system. So if your agent just finished writing a new file, say fix.py into the /workspace directory, your very next command can instantly use that file. There's no syncing, no uploading or downloading, it just works. Oh, and the real-time response stream? This is a game changer. You immediately get a contentStart event so you know it's running. Then you get a stream of contentDelta events line by line, just like you're watching a terminal. You see errors the second they happen. And finally, you get the contentStop event with that all-important exit code, so your program knows for sure if it succeeded or failed. No more waiting 5 minutes just to find out you had a typo in your command. Okay, so that's all the theory. But what does this look like in a real-world workflow? Let's walk through a coder agent fixing a bug, from reading the ticket all the way to pushing the code. All right, step 1. We use the standard InvokeAgentRuntime. We give it a prompt, something like, hey, read ticket Jira 1234 and write the code to fix it. The agent goes off, does its thinking, analyzes the problem, and spits out the new code. This is the creative, brainy part of the job.
Now that the code is written, we need to know if it actually works. But here's the key. We don't ask the agent to try and run the tests. No. We tell our platform exactly how to run them with InvokeAgentRuntimeCommand.
We send this exact command. There is zero room for interpretation. No LLM creativity, no I think this is how you run tests. It will change to the workspace directory, and it will run npm test. Period. This is that deterministic validation gate we've been dreaming of.
Okay, boom, the tests pass. Now it's time to get this fix into our code base. And just like with testing, version control has to be absolutely perfect. So you guessed it, we're going to use another direct command to handle it.
We fire off our git push command, and just like that, the fix is live. The whole workflow is done. You see the pattern here? The agent handled the creative what, writing the code, and the platform, using our command tool, handled the precise how, running the commands. Each part did exactly what it's best at. Now, this coder agent example is awesome, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. This whole approach unlocks a ton of new, super reliable capabilities for any agent you can dream up. Let's look at some more. I mean, you can now reliably install dependencies with pip or npm.
You can build and compile your code, you can run linters to check style, you can even do data operations, like pulling down a file from S3 to work on it. Basically, any task that has a known deterministic command is now fair game for your agent workflows.
Now, to help you really hit the ground running with this, let's just quickly go over a few key best practices. These will help you build stuff that's not just powerful, but also really robust and secure.
Okay, couple of really crucial tips here. First, pre-install your tools like Git or NPM right into your Docker file. That way the environment is always predictable. Second, and I can't stress this enough, always check the exit code. A 0 means it worked. Anything else means it failed. And finally, remember that each command is stateless. So if you need to do a few things in a row like cd and then run, you have to chain them together with and, so they run in the same context.
Now, let's talk for a second about a really crucial topic, security. This all works on what we call a shared responsibility model. The platform gives you a super secure isolated sandbox, a microVM, for your agent to run wild in. But, and this is the important part, you are responsible for making sure the commands you choose to run inside that sandbox are safe. So please never run untrusted code.
And to help you manage all of this, you've got a complete audit trail. It's super simple. CloudWatch logs will show you what command was executed, and CloudTrail will show you who executed it and when. Put them together, and you have total visibility for all your monitoring and security needs.
So we come all the way back to this really core idea. Let the agent figure out what to do, and use the command to perfectly handle how to do it. This simple but incredibly powerful separation just unlocks a whole new level of reliability for our AI agents. So the only question left, really, is what are you going to build with it?